Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to take a closer look at Amazon. The company recently hosted an event where they showcase a lot of new generative AI solutions, some pretty cool partnerships with NVIDIA, and also some pretty cool AI hardware updates. So we're going to take a closer look at some semiconductors. So stay tuned and let's take a closer look in today's episode. So right now we can see Amazon is sitting at roughly $146. Year to date, the stock is doing pretty great for itself, up 71%. We can see that the company has seen a nice move in the past month or so, where the company jumped up over 22% in roughly the last month. So AWS is definitely killing it, in my opinion, in the clouding market, but we definitely have that competition from Microsoft and from Google. And even I have said it in the past where I do believe Amazon to some extent takes a little bit longer than maybe some of the other players to kind of push a lot of their AI news. And sometimes it might kind of give us some fears that, hey, look, Amazon might not be really going with this AI market. But with the recent events, we are seeing that Amazon continues and wants to be a top player in the AI space. So let's take a closer look. The first thing I want to know or kind of discuss is AWS unveils next generation of AWS design chips. So AWS has pretty much three chips. They have the AWS Graviton, which is their CPU. They just announced the fourth generation. They also have the AWS Trainium 2, which is an AI chip that's meant to, you guessed it, train AI solutions or meant for training AI workloads. They just pushed their second generation. And those are the two new chips that they recently announced. But they do have a third chip. And this is a third chip that they've actually updated a few months ago, is their Inferentia 2. And the Inferentia 2, you guessed it, is for workloads that deal with inferencing in AI and machine learning workloads.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
So that was actually announced on June 13th of 2023, where they kind of pushed to the second generation, which is obviously better. They do mention it's about 4 times higher throughput than the first generation and about 10 times lower latency. We do know that AWS, they do have a lot of clouding solutions, and they do have a lot of AI and machine learning customers as well that are using these kind of products like the Trainium and the Inferentia as well. So now if we take a closer look at what we're going to discuss about today is, like I mentioned, they announced the two new chips, the Graviton and the AWS. For the Graviton 4, it does provide up to 30% better compute performance and 50% more cores and 75% more memory bandwidth than current generation Graviton 3 processor. So that obviously bodes well for a lot of kind of heavy memory solutions that we're seeing in the market right now, especially in the AI space. Now, the second chip was the Trainium, which is designed to deliver up to 4 times better training than the first generation Trainium chips and will be able to be deployed in EC2 Ultra clusters of up to 100,000 chips, making it possible to train crazy models in a fraction of the time. And I think that's pretty impressive. I do believe kind of showcases the strength of Amazon and their silicon solution. Amazon actually also took, I want to say, a few shots at Microsoft during the event. They did mention how, for example, that there's still a lot of other cloud server providers that are just talking about chips at the moment. AWS actually has CPUs and AI accelerators, both for training and inferencing. So they're kind of showcasing that, hey, look, we are the leaders in the AI space, even though no one wants to recognize it. Some other pretty cool things, they did kind of showcase the solutions or some history of their previous Graviton. So they do mention that AWS offers more than 150 different Graviton Power Amazon EC2 instances. And they have mentioned that they have built more than 2 million Graviton processors and have more than 50,000 customers. So we can see right off the bat, AWS and their Graviton is definitely a competitor to some extent in the CPU market. The other thing is 2 million processors. That's, in my opinion, prior to generation 4. It does kind of showcase the strength of ARM, right? ARM is getting a lot of traction from data centers, from cloud server providers. And we can see how big this market is. So to some extent, this obviously kind of bodes well for ARM holdings because they do a lot of these ARM, because most of these CPUs that are being created by cloud service providers like Amazon, like Microsoft, are using ARM-based architecture. So pretty cool here with their Graviton. Next, we're going to take a closer look at their Trainium 2 chip. But before we go any further, guys, if you are enjoying the episode, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 30,000 by the end of the year, so all help would be appreciated. If you want to learn more about the semiconductor market, click join to learn more about this pretty cool membership where I have weekly videos. Finally, check out my special offer at fool.com/Jose, and any other cool links might be on the pinned comment, so make sure to check that out. So AWS has also provided kind of their talks about their Trainium 2, and not only are they creating their own chips, but they're also kind of working with NVIDIA to kind of get their own chips. I did a previous episode on NVIDIA and a lot of the AWS solutions that they announced during this keynote. So make sure to check out that video. I do believe it's the video before this. But AWS is saying, hey, look, we're trying to focus with whatever. We're buying the best players out there. So we're buying NVIDIA, but we also have our power efficiency solutions and our own AI hardware with Trainium and Inferentia. So AWS is pretty much a one-stop shop. They do mention that Trainium 2 chips are purposely built for high-performance training of foundation models and large language models with up to trillions of parameters. They do mention that Trainium 2 is designed to deliver up to 4 times faster training performance and 3 times more memory capacity compared to the first generation. And I do believe a lot has changed in the AI market since the first generation. So a lot of push is coming to the memory market, especially when it comes to these large foundation models and these large language models. So Trainium will be available in their EC2 TRN2 instances, and they will be containing 16 Trainium chips in a single instance. And eventually, they will have those superclusters where you can scale up to 100,000 Trainium 2 chips in the next two, which is insane, right? And that's where you will be able to train large language models that have over 300 billion parameters in weeks versus months. And this is what a lot of companies are going to be doing. And as we continue to get new generations of models, you might be saying, hey, Jose, how many models out there could it be? Well, first, tons and tons as enterprises continue to push into large language models, but then just the evolution of models from GPT-3 to GPT-4 was a huge amount. From GPT-4 to eventually, I'm guessing GPT-5 is going to be crazy. Then as we start going into multimodal models where it's not just text anymore, right? Whereas there's other forms of tracing from vision, from audio, from videos, and the list goes on and on. So those are just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And obviously, you're going to need all these AI solutions. The company mentions that, hey, look, they have a lot of AI customers like Anthropic, which uses cloud, and which is their AI solution, and they have been an AWS customer. And Anthropic is expected to use Trainium 2 for their AI workloads. So they kind of showcase a lot of cool companies there. So that's pretty much all the big news that we heard from Amazon and their AI solutions, mainly in the AI hardware. They did announce a lot of AI software solutions like Amazon Q, which is kind of like a chat box, Amazon Connect Contact, Amazon Lex, Amazon Connect Customers, and the list goes on and on. But one big push that Amazon is saying is that, hey, look, we have a lot. We have the infrastructure. We have things like Amazon SageMaker and Amazon Bedrock, which allows you to kind of fine-tune your models. We also have multi-models, right? They kind of, again, throw shots at Microsoft, where Microsoft really pushes mainly kind of ChatGPT in general, or OpenAI's models mainly. So AWS is saying that, look, we're playing this large language model and this AI market a little bit different than maybe some of the other players, and we're doing really good, and they seem to be very excited about their solutions. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.